Goliath fraud scandal engulfs Washington, Ben Carson just found hidden billions. Ben Carson is a neurosurgeon. In fact, he goes one step further, considered by his contemporaries as a foremost authority on neonatal pediatric brain surgery. Andy Borowitz writes satire for the New Yorker magazine. What does the leftist Borowitz think about Carson? In September of 2015, he wrote that Ben Carson was a witless idiot, shattering stereotypes that brain surgeons are geniuses. Yes, he really did. In fact, one might go so far as to surmise that Borowitz is, in fact, a racist. The satirist doesn't just go after Carson once, but on 4 separate occasions in his comedic rants, calling Carson anything from outright stupid to colossally ignorant. Secondly, he's really masquerading behind the mask of satirist precisely because he fears being called a racist, which he is. The man has made a career out of bashing right-wingers but doesn't halt at just the political class. Borowitz believes the same about all people on the right, Republicans, Libertarians, Tea Party, etc. For him, they are all morons. The only racist morons we see are part of Antifa, but hey, whatever. Ben Carson, for his part, has begun his new position as head of housing and urban development for a country with 320+ million people. He maintains a consultancy on the side for his expertise in saving little infants and children. In so doing, he has made a shocking discovery. This one on top of the $500 billion fraud he recently discovered. The Political Insider. The reports concern issues plaguing the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, including felons illegally living in federally funded homes, tax fraud, and millions of dollars sitting in unused bank accounts for years. The department's 2017 budget is $48.9 billion and it has 8,375 employees. At least 3 of those reports were also kept from HUD, meaning top department officials may not even be aware of the problems and suggested remedies. One unreleased 2011 report revealed that 1,300 fugitives, including rapists and murderers, were illegally living in HUD-funded homes, and local authorities managing the properties refused to evict them, the DCNF previously reported. Dr. Ben Carson discovered more wasteful behavior on the part of the Washington establishment and has exposed that. He should be careful, though. Chances are, Andy Borowitz is lurking around the corner, waiting to pounce on the black conservative. Thank you for reading us. Thregaldi just spoke out on Comey's FBI job. Then said 3 words nobody saw coming. The fiery South Carolina made his name for grilling Hillary Clinton about the Benghazi attack in 2012. He is one of 11 candidates on the White House list who would lead the FBI. Another one on the list is Texas Senator John Cornyn, says McClatchy DC. Thregaldi would make a great FBI director. Don't you agree? Share this if you agree. Watch him explain his feelings on James Comey. Base Thregaldi points out that the element of the offense intent is not a part of the statute. He also goes on to explain why the element gross negligence was purposely chosen for that statute instead of intent. This is an amazing video and shows how successful Thregaldi would be as an FBI director. Please share this if you believe Thregaldi is the best choice for the FBI job. Let's get this to Trump. Let's show him that we want Thregaldi. Galdi, he's a hero. What America's top lawyer just said will save Trump from impeachment. When it comes to lawyers in the United States, there are few as good as than Alan Dershowitz. The man is a legend. Now that legend has come out about Trump firing James Comey with a simple message: Trump is innocent. Dershowitz was disturbed when he saw all the liberals, even his fellow Harvard professors, trying to make up reasons why Trump firing Comey was an impeachable offense. That's why he settled the matter once and for all. Dershowitz wrote. The President of the United States can legally fire the head of the FBI for any and all reasons. Alan Dershowitz may be a conservative, but he was not defending President Trump's reasoning or anything. He said that even if Donald Trump fired Comey with bad intentions, the law was never broken. Even assuming that Trump was improperly motivated in firing Comey, motive alone should never constitute a crime. There should have to be an unlawful act. And exercising constitutional and statutory power should not constitute the actus reus of a crime. If the laws were never broken, that means Democrats have no grounds to impeach Trump. It's just that simple. So there you have it. Regardless of what people think of Donald Trump, the fact is that there were no laws broken. So help to share this to all your friends and family so we can stop this nonsense once and for all. Thank you for reading us. It's happening. North Korea just launched a new missile. This is not good. North Korea has fired what appears to be a ballistic missile, reports from South Korea say. The missile was launched near the city of Kaesong, northwest of the capital, Pyongyang, Yonhap news agency reported. North Korea has carried out a series of missile tests this year, increasing tensions with the U.S. Pyongyang has accelerated its nuclear and missile tests in recent years, despite international condemnation and UN sanctions. 2 missile tests last month both failed, with the rockets exploding just minutes into flight. The North is believed to be continuing efforts to miniaturize nuclear warheads and fit them on long-range missiles capable of reaching the U.S. But despite poor relations, North Korea recently said it would hold talks with the U.S. if the conditions were right. The comments, by a senior North Korean diplomat, came after U.S. President Donald Trump said he would be honored to meet the North's leader, Kim Jong-un. The latest launch, if confirmed, comes days after South Korean President Moon Jae-in was sworn in. Breaking, top Democrats getting arrested. It's finally happening. A State Department employee pleaded not guilty in court on Wednesday after being charged in an FBI investigation, the Department of Justice announced. Candace Claiborne, who worked in the Caucasus Affairs Office of the State Department, is being charged for 2 felony offenses. Claiborne is being charged with obstructing an official proceeding and making false statements to the FBI, both felony offenses, for allegedly concealing numerous contacts that she had over a period of years with foreign intelligence agents, a Justice Department release said. Claiborne, who has a top-secret security clearance, failed to disclose her foreign contacts aboard despite being required to do so. Claiborne also is required to report any contacts with persons suspected of affiliation with a foreign intelligence agency, the press release said. This case demonstrates that U.S. government employees will be held accountable for failing to honor the trust placed in them when they take on such sensitive assignments, it added. Claiborne is accused of repeatedly contacting 2 Chinese intelligence agents, who provided tens of thousands of dollars in gifts and benefits to Claiborne and her family over 5 years. The press release said the agents provided Claiborne with gifts, including cash wired to Claiborne's USA account, an Apple iPhone and laptop computer, Chinese New Year's gifts, meals, international travel and vacations, tuition at a Chinese fashion school, a fully furnished apartment, and a monthly stipend. Claiborne also wrote in her journal that she could generate $20,000 in 1 year if she continued working with one of the agents, an affidavit says. Claiborne was arrested Tuesday and appeared in a D.C.-based district court on Wednesday afternoon. Claiborne has worked with the State Department in various posts since 1999, including embassies and consulates in Baghdad, Iraq, Khartoum, Sudan, and Beijing and Shanghai, China. The FBI's investigation of Claiborne included surveillance done under the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, Reuters said in a tweet, citing a federal prosecutor. Claiborne could face a maximum of 25 years in prison. It just happened, Donald Trump just sent Ivanka on a super special mission. This is huge. There is not a single person in this world that Donald Trump trusts more than his daughter Ivanka Trump. In fact, he trusts her so much that he just gave her an unimaginably important job. President Trump sent Ivanka on a listening tour of all the top U.S. agencies. So what exactly is a listening tour? Well, it's much more significant than it sounds. Ivanka has been tasked with going to all the agencies, especially the EPA, and deciding whether or not the U.S. will stay in the Paris climate change agreements. HT, Politico. She has also been ordered by the president to visit the Department of Health and Human Services. He wants her to work with him on the new health care to make sure it works for all Americans. Ivanka also has meetings with the heads of labor, Veterans Affairs, and the Small Business Administration to help to decide their future directions. I just do not understand how it is that feminists hate Ivanka Trump so much. She is hardworking, caring, passionate, and incredibly accomplished. Ivanka is the kind of person we should all strive to be like. So help share this out and let the world see how important Ivanka's job really is. Also, send her a prayer or amen. Thank you for reading us. Breaking: CIA, FBI launch massive manhunt for American traitor, thousands of secrets exposed. Developing now. The US has been betrayed by a mole inside the CIA. Perhaps it isn't uncommon to hear about governmental leaks and betrayal. After